In today's episode, we're talking about having a clear vision for your goals. Why is it so important? Let's find out. Welcome. This is Gull, your money mindset expert. And today we're talking about having a clear vision for your goals. Why is that so important? Now, I think it's self-explanatory, why you need to have your goals and idea about what it is that you want and written down. Any personal development guru, any personal development mentor or a coach will tell you the first step to creating a life of your choice is to know what it is that you want to create. So therefore, you need to have your goals written down. That's pretty standard, right? So everybody talks about having a goals, especially beginning of the year, write them down, make sure they're in positive and the present tense, and when you want it, what you want, when you want it, how quickly you want to manifest it, so forth. Now, I'm going to talk about in a bit why I don't believe in time frames. I do not believe that you should put a time frame. I want this by 2 years. I want this by 5 years. I always believe in when you write your goals down, it's in the present tense in terms of now. I've done a podcast on this before, but I will repeat this point, which is really, really important, to always write and have your goal set in present tense as you already have. That's already been achieved. You're not going to go for something because that indicates lack. You have to already say it. So we'll talk more about that in terms of why that's important a bit. But the first and foremost thing that I want to talk about is why you need to have a clear vision for your goals. You need to have an idea of what it is that you want, like what it is that you want very, very clearly. But we need to go a bit deeper in there. And I tell you why this is so, so important. And I want to reinforce this point. Unlike other mentors and other people who can say, they're so fabulous and they're so brilliant and they've done X, Y, and Z. Yes, I've got plenty of accolades under my belt and I've got plenty of achievements that I can rattle on about. I want you to see me as a peer, as someone who's in the same boat as you, someone who's going through the same life, changing circumstances in our life all the time, same as you. Life is never perfect, and I'm always developing and learning. And as I'm learning, I'm sharing this platform to teach that to you guys, to share my journey with you guys. So I'm not up there, I'm on this journey with you. This is so important for you to know. And therefore, anything I'm telling you, I'm living by it. I'm going through it. I'm doing it right now. Not done it before, but doing it right now. Okay, so this is why this is more personal for me. It's very much my journey that I'm going through right now and I'm sharing with you guys. And this is why today's episode is very, very personal for me as well. So it's not just important for you to know what you want and to have it written down as you want. You need to actually understand that you have to have a clear vision for it. And you need to have a clear why for it. And you need to understand the importance of why. And I'm going to tell you the reason why this is so important. If you don't have a clear vision of your goals and the reasons why they're important to you, reasons why you want to achieve them, when you go through turmoil, and you will, when the devil comes for you, when circumstances go against you, and they will, that is when your faith will falter. That's when you will break down. That is when you will let go of your goals. That is when you will think, no, it's not worth it, and I'm going to go and do something else, or I'm not going to have the patience, or I'm not going to go through this, or this is too hard, or this is too difficult, and this is too emotionally demanding. When you do not hold on to your goals and your vision for your goals with dear life, and especially at the end when they're about to manifest, you will not achieve them. This is the most difficult part. And I find a lot of there's a big, in the last 10, 15 years, there's been big, massive movement in the personal development industry. People have come into the industry with, oh my God, in hundreds and thousands. And, there's seminars going on here and gurus popping off left, right, and center here. And I think that's great. That creates awareness for our industry. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. But here is the issue with all of this. Nobody's talking about the hard truths. Nobody's talking about the sadness. Nobody's talking about the pain that you have to endure before your manifestation appears. No one talks about that. And if you look at these gurus, they seem to have this idea, have this written, this goal down, go and try and do X, Y, Z, and magically your manifestations are going to appear. And sometimes it does, right? When you're not as emotionally invested in a particular goal, and you find this, when you're not as emotionally invested in a particular thing, that appears a lot easily. The thing that you really, really want, and I don't care what it is, it could be money, it could be a child, it could be a romantic partner, it could be the business, it could be your passion business, it could be whatever that you are most passionate about, which is the most closest to your heart, that is going to bring you to your knees. It's going to bring you to your tears. And I promise you it will. And when you're manifesting that particular thing, everything, including the kitchen sink, is going to be thrown at you. And it's in those moments, it's so important for you to hold on to your vision for your goals. Now, it could be that you're working towards, and I want to explain this to you, right? It could be that you are working towards having this amazing business, right? And I've seen this happen to me. I'm going to give you a story actually of this one individual, one of my clients that happened to before she came to work with me. So she had this vision for her business that she was going to become this business coach and have all these clients come to her. And what she found was, because she was a multiple six-figure earner in a corporate job, but when she wanted to become a business coach, she had a lot more difficulty. And as her business started to pick up, her relationship with her partner deteriorated. I've seen this happen far too many times. So please listen to this very carefully. The relationship with her partner deteriorated, and that distracted her from her business. So what she found was she moved her focus away from her business and took it towards her relationship, and focused on her, on her marriage and so forth, and whatever else was happening in there. And she dropped the ball when it comes to her business. And then once that was fixed, she came back to her business, and she's back in the, from square one and going to the square, cycle again and again. Now, when I met up with her and I said, what's going on, right? Hang on a minute. I'm not saying not to pay attention to your relationships, but look at what's going on. Somewhere along the lines, there's elements of self-sabotage, or something's going on which is pulling you back. And you know what, how the devil will get to you? It will not come directly for you. It will not say, you can't do this business, you can't get clients, you can't do this. If you are determined and you're going to use all your resources and your willpower to focus on your business, it will come from from another route. It will come from a way that you haven't expected. So same way God can help you through unexpected ways, the devil can come and attack you. Your testing time can come to you from a completely, you can't even think of where the trouble can come from, and it will come and attack you from that route. So with her, the thing that she held dearest to her most was her relationship with her partner, which obviously was her husband and the father of her daughters, right? So she wanted to make sure that that relationship was solid, and it was. There's nothing wrong with it for it to go in turmoil. He was a lovely father, and they had a lovely relationship, but somehow the other, that became tumultuous. And so her focus went on that relationship rather than her business. Now, when we discussed this and she started unpacking what was going on, she made sure that when the devil came to attack her from different ways, and it was from her partner at times and one from her daughter, she remained stable. Now, that's one example. I'm going to give you another example. I'm actually going to give you my example. So because yes, my business is very dear to me, and yes, my clients are very dear to me. I have other property business, which is, I'll probably say, not as dear to me. I think my coaching business is more closer to my heart, because that gives me more of excitement and happiness when I see my clients prosper. But I do have the other businesses. When I was at my peak, I was making a lot of money and most of my money was made through trading and through Forex. When I was making a lot of money, the way the devil attacked me was to get rid of my income from Forex. But that didn't break me. I had a heavy, heavy loss. It didn't break me. Then the devil tried my property business. It didn't break me. I came up from there as well, and I stabilized and I was fine. And then it attacked me on my coaching business, because that was the closest to my heart. Again, because it's not my weakness, money is not my weakness, it didn't break me, right? So guess what the devil did, right? To break my spirit. Now the attack came on my first me physically. That didn't break me. Then it came on my one child. I stabilized myself, and then it came for my second child. That broke me. Okay, so I'm sharing this something really, really personal with you for you to understand. You need to be aware of the attacks that are going to come in your direction. And those will not necessarily be for the things you're manifesting. It will be in ways so you take your focus away from the manifestation and go on to other things, to get distracted, to get into procrastination, to get into other habits of doing other things, and to fall apart, right? And I'm here to tell you, if you keep an eye on your vision, on your goals, and have a very clear vision for your goals, what will that do is, doesn't matter what else is happening around you, you will trot along. You will not lose sight of what it is that you're trying to create. So when it comes to the health of my children, I'm now fully aware that that is my weakness, and that is where I can be attacked, and that's when I get distracted, and that's when procrastination, not necessarily procrastination, but my mind goes off and I am not focused as it is on certain things. And I have realized that's where I need to be paying attention for. So at those times when I feel that I am not at my best, I'm not doing what I need to do, and I'm procrastinating or I'm distracted, I need to look at my vision, look at my goals, and have clear understanding of why I have those goals, have a clear vision for my goals, and know, you know what, I know I'm upset, I know there are 10 things going on, and I have these doctor's appointments and all things, but this is important too. Why am I creating this business? Right? And my business and the motivation for my business come back to my children too. Like I said, everything around my life revolves around my children. So if the business I'm creating is to give my kids the best education and the lifestyle that I'm choosing to give them, then that requires prioritization as well. So therefore, I cannot allow myself to get distracted. I cannot allow myself to just sit there and worry. I cannot allow myself the luxury of wasting time if I'm not in a doctor's appointment, if I'm not focusing on my child, if I'm not taking care of them and putting them to bed, then the rest of the time cannot be set on the sofa worrying about my child's health, because they will be taken care of by God. If I trust God to take care of everything else, I trust God to take care of my children too. Okay, I'll do everything I can. I need to take care of my daughter, my son. After that, it's in the hands of God. I have to come back onto my business and focus on my business. Because why? The reason why I have this vision for my business is to be able to create a lifestyle, to be able to create an income, which creates a lifestyle, which gives my children the freedom to have the best education in the world without the worry of debt, and to be able to have a good start in life, right? So that's my vision for my goals. I want to have a certain amount of revenue for my coaching business, certain kind of revenue for my property, certain kind of revenue for my other businesses that I've opened up. And they all require my attention. But the reasons why I'm doing it comes back to my children. Does it make sense? So if you have a clear vision for why you're doing something, I always talk about money is really important, and I'm never going to say money is not important. I'm not the kind of person who says, oh, having an idea, having the Bentley or the vision for a mansion is wrong. Hell no. I've got a freaking private jet on my vision board that I'm going to be manifesting, and I'm sure it's going to come. I mean, I'm absolutely 110% sure my private jet's coming. There's no doubt in my mind for it, right? But that's not what motivates me to get up in the mornings. What motivates me in the mornings is to make sure my children are well taken care of, and my business is a major part of that. Does that make sense? Now, that's my vision. That's who I am. What's your vision? What motivates you? What gets you out of bed in the morning? Where are you focused on that the devil does not want you to focus on, so that you can get distracted and you don't live your life's purpose? Now, I'm sure that even though my motivation is for my children, and at the moment my children need that kind of money to support them, where my life is headed and where I'm going to go, it's going to be above and beyond my children. But at this moment in time, everything in my life revolves around those two young people, and to make sure I take care of their well-being as well as their financial well-being. And that is what creates my vision for my goals where I am. Coming back to the example I gave you of my client, when she realized what she was doing, and so obviously some of it was self-sabotage because of limiting beliefs and other money blocks that she had, and the way the money blocks were manifesting in her life were through her partner. I mean, you can see it that way, or you can see the devil was attacking her through her partner. Either way, when she cleared her money blocks, and we went through extensive, that's where, you know, she was in a mastermind, and we went through the 12 months mastermind. We're able to clear that, and within 6 months, she, you know, after 6 months, she hit six figures, and then she went on to make 6 figures in a short period of time. But the point here being, you need to have a clear vision for your goals, so that when the devil comes to attack you, and it will, let's be very, very clear about it. Before your manifestation, especially one that you are really, really emotionally connected to, before it shows up in your life, before it shows up in your 3D world, you will have moments of complete turmoil. There's a phrase that comes to mind, which is the breakdown before the breakthrough. And it's so poignant. It's so true. It's so, so true. You will have moments of breakdown, incredible breakdown, before you get your breakthroughs. And you need to be aware of those. Okay. And I'm sharing this personal one with you because I don't think the devil could have broken me in any shape or form. It tried. 2021, 2022 has been a year of, you know, try this, try that, try this, try to see how Gull can be broken down. Gull wasn't breaking down, but Gull did break down eventually in December of 2022. But it didn't take her long to get back up, and I'm back up, right? And now my faith is stronger than ever. I know for a fact there's a massive breakthrough coming in my life. The devil wouldn't be attacking me in such a way if it wasn't the case. And you know what it's done? This attack from the devil, this constant force on my, you know, constant attack on my beliefs, on my faith, in my understanding of who I am, has brought me closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, has brought me closer to my deen, has brought me closer to God, right? I was someone who was at the times praying, you know, intermittently and sometimes not. I'm now someone who prays the Tahajjud regularly. I wake up before half an hour before Fajr and I read my Tahajjud. I have my namaz, and at times I'm reading Jahshizah, which is the mid-morning prayer, so between Fajr and Zohar. I read that too now. So my prayers have become more, and it's funny how my prayers have become more regular when things which are important to me were under threat, which is my children, not necessarily money. Even though I thought money was really high on my list, and it still is, but money couldn't break me. That the love for my children did. So instead of falling away from faith, it's brought me closer to faith. And I'm telling you this right now, if you are manifesting something that is really, really important to you, be it child, the partner, the money, the business, whatever it is, listen to me. You're going to have times of turmoil. You're going to have times of breakdown. The devil's going to come for you. You have to be really, really strong in that moment. And know, if the devil's attacking you with such sheer force, then your breakthrough is just around the corner. You just have to hold on to faith. Now, when it comes to your goals, this is why I say to you, look, you know, have a clear vision for your goals, but also write it in the present tense. What makes you think that it's going to take you 2 years to get to whatever your goal is? Maybe you want to make 100,000 a month. What makes you think it takes you 2 years or 5 years to get there? Why can't you get there maybe in the next few months, maybe the next month? You could have a breakthrough, or something bizarre happens and something amazing happens, and you could be making 100K within the month. Why do you want to put time limitations on, right? Always write in the present tense. Your goals should be always in the present tense. I am making 100K a month. I am driving a Bentley. I am whatever, fill in the blanks, right? So that has to be in the present tense. But before you even have that clear vision, before you even have that writing that clear goal down, you have to have a clear vision for your goal. Why? What is it you want and why? Okay. And then it has to be right now. You already have it. Keep in mind, and I will do another podcast on this concept too. You cannot have a desire without it already being allocated to you and being present in your spiritual world, your universal warehouse, as I like to call it. Because only when the thing that you want appears in your universal warehouse do you become aware of it and you realize, oh, I want that. If it's a child, it could be a car, it could be a partner, it could be a business, it could be shoes, it could be anything. The thing that you want has already manifested in your spiritual warehouse, and then you become aware of it after. Then you pray for it, and we have an Islamic tradition. We say this. It's in the Hadith as well. It says that if God gives you the desires, and God allows you to pray for it, the only reason why you're allowed to pray for it is because God wants you to pray for it so that you get it. It's a way of manifestation at the end of the day, right? So if you have a desire for something, it's already been allocated to you. It's already in your spiritual warehouse. It's already in your universal warehouse. It's just a matter of time before you manifest it and bring it into your physical 3D world. Now, the point of today's episode is this. Before that thing that you really, 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 really want appears in your physical 3D world, you're gonna have a time of this tremendous turmoil, this pain that you're gonna go through. And it may not be even related to that goal. It may be related to something else. Or maybe you feel like your whole life's falling apart from every angle. The breakdown has to happen before it always does, because the devil attacks you head on, especially when you're about to have your breakthrough. Please, please, please hold on to faith with both hands at that moment in time. It's that moment when those people who actually manifest what they want, and for those people who are so wishy-washy about things they want, are separated. There are those who will conquer their demons, will overcome all of this turmoil, will overcome all this pain, hold on to faith and prosper at the end. And there are those who will fall to the wayside, who just then complain, oh, this law of attraction doesn't work, or this never works for me, and this is too difficult, and are bitter. Okay? Do not get bitter, get better. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. If you did, follow me on Spotify, and of course on Spotify, iTunes, everywhere else. And if you're watching me on YouTube, then drop a comment below and tell me how you liked today's episode. And if there is a topic that you actually want me to do as a podcast or as a YouTube episode, then do leave me a comment either on iTunes or on YouTube. And remember, I do look at it and read all of them, and I will reply back. And if it's an appropriate topic, I will do a podcast on it. Until the next time we meet, this is Gull signing off. Take care and bye for now.